Welcome to this YouTube video. My name is Colin Schmelbeck, and today I'll be walking you through an exact client proposal video that I sent to hopefully a client of mine one day. And I'm going to walk you through exactly how I take them through the entire audit process and show them exactly what I see in their account and what I actually recommend to them. And it's pretty much everything I had in that video. Some stuff is blurred out if it has included some client stuff in there. But if you want more stuff like this, join the free group below and the free Google Ads course there. And if you like it, give it a thumbs up and have a great day. Hey, Colin here. I want to send kind of a video walkthrough of the main audit that I did and kind of an action plan with it as well. Let us still meet this week. I know you gave me some time tomorrow. I wanted to give you this video first just because it kind of goes pretty in depth of, how I kind of look at Google Ads as a whole, in terms of some testimonials from clients, case studies, going through your account, giving you an action plan. I was going to do it but just ended up doing it because overall wanted to kind of be on the same page before I did more work. Just, we're on the same page, right? Overall though, love to hear your thoughts back on this. Definitely free for a call. I am kind of in and out of traveling this week after tomorrow or aka Monday when you're probably watching this. But I'll be able to, probably schedule a call outside of Thursday, just being with Thanksgiving and family. But just kind of driving up the country. So we'll be a little bit of, a pain to schedule, but I will be making myself available if we actually need to get that done. So yeah, we'd love to have you watch this and then kind of get back to me and then, have the next conversation if you'd like to kind of see what this would look like for just this brand or all three brands as well. And I kind of gave you both at the end of this video options for kind of a hybrid model where I just kind of give you, an action plan and a full audit and say, hey, this is what I do. Give this to, the current agency or in-house team. I don't even have one yet. And that's a little bit cheaper than my done for you stuff. Then I gave you my kind of full done for you kind of price point with the upfront fee into the monthly month. And again, no ad spend percentage, no revenue percentage, just a flat fee. And then I also gave you kind of a, fly out to you for a day or two kind of package as well. I don't think you really need that since you have a team for the brands as well. But I just put that in there because some brands have been interested in that before. So just want to put those three options in there for you. But I'll stop, talking, kind of give you, the full rundown now, right? I'll give you the PDF will accompany this video as well. Just kind of so you can go through it because there are some stuff in here that you can kind of really run through, links to click on, kind of trainings to watch if you want. So kind of give you as big of a thing as possible so you understand, how I view Google Ads, what my results are, and how this can apply for you and your brands, right? So overall, I'm not going to hard sell you, what I've done, kind of give you a lot of just case studies in here, a couple of different videos of going through some strategies, some client testimonials here you can run through, all the good stuff people say about me, some more case studies, yada, yada. Overall, we talked about how I'm not a big agency. It's myself and one media buyer. You'll be talking to me directly through Slack, not some, account communication person. And then I'll be the lead strategist as well. And then I have the media buyer help me actually do the day-to-day operation stuff to make sure someone's always watching the account as a whole, right? And then in terms of strategy, I'm not sure if we talked about this on our original meeting, but how I kind of view strategy. I'm not sure how much you've watched on my YouTube or looked at my Twitter. I have, talked about my personal IP before being, instead of having a traditional ads funnel, I kind of view the vortex as this is my Google strategy, right? I call it the ads vortex. Kind of basically says instead of having a very traditional funnel, you have two very top of the funnel stuff, kind of trying to use the funnel in your mind to make sure it's easier to explain. Kind of both demand capture and demand creation. You have nurturing, then you have on the very bottom of it kind of an inverted funnel in this kind of case will be your brand traffic, aka collection protection, as well as profit expansion, which is targeting existing customers. Think like SMS and email marketing, but with Google, since you can upload first party data and target them directly or exclude them directly, right? But the main thing here, how I view this is, since Google is a full ecosystem of many different campaign types, millions and millions of touch points you could possibly have, it's pretty fluid. It's better used in like a 3D dimensional, sphere. So I'm trying to show it to you. But I actually linked here as well. On my YouTube, I actually have a full breakdown of this video. It's like 7 minutes long. It kind of goes deeper into how I use this, how I strategize this for clients. So if you want to watch that, feel free to watch that. And that's what I'm going to send you the PDF version. And then just, very simple stuff, kind of breaking it down, what are we doing each phase, some examples of that, stuff like that. So again, I won't waste your time going through that. You can go through that. But I just want to, show you, how I develop my strategy, how is that applicable to you and stuff like that. So let's get into the actual action plan. So the main goal, discussing the call, it's kind of just call recap notes, is finally eliminate wasted ad spend, because the main goal right now just seems to be very heavy on efficiency and profitability in the first order. Then secondary goals, kind of, end of this year into next year, be shift spending to higher LTV products and focus on new customer acquisition efforts, aka this would be creation and demand creation, demand capture heavy stuff, aka right here, kind of this kind of stuff. Instead of right now, a lot of the account is focused on collection. About 40% of the spend is on branded traffic, nothing on profit expansion, no dedicated nurturing in the account right now. It's just PMax has some marketing in it, but you can't control how much remarketing it's doing. You do have demand creation, demand capture, but again, there are no dedicated spends with PMax. You can't really dictate how that is being used. Majority of that spend is going to demand capture because it's shopping. They're upgraded smart shopping campaigns, and it's staying pretty true. About 90-95% of spend in your PMax campaigns, looking at your actual data here, is last 30 days is on shopping right here. 90%, 97%, 98, 83. So pretty good by Google's part to stay true to that, stay true there. But again, I like to see dedicated budgets here and dedicated, efforts into saying, okay, we got to pull back spend here, focus on efficiency. Let's push spend on these certain products, push spend on these, certain, new goals here to kind of get new customers in the funnel, right? So overall, talk about that. Q4 goal, again, if we start right away, I know Black Friday Cyber Monday is this week. There's a lot of stuff that needs to be done. Not sure how much, has gone into that in terms of the asset side, copy side, GMC side, scheduling promotion stuff in PMax. Again, we can talk about that as well if you want to really kind of see, can we maximize Black Friday Cyber Monday? But I know it's a busy time. If that was the case, kind of just really maximize visibility, promotions, see you can really push something over as Amazon or email marketing better than during this period. December be still kind of the same thing, kind of that post Black Friday Cyber Monday effect, but way cheaper CPCs usually. And then the Q1 goal, kind of seeing, okay, we started getting efficiency stuff. Now, how can we get into a more scaling route? Can really push spend on certain collections, certain products, really kind of lift overall scaling of this platform, and turn Google into more of a primary new customer acquisition channel, and not so much of a secondary feeding off of Facebook kind of channel like it is right now. So overall, your strategy is 8 campaigns, 34K monthly spend the last 30 days. We had 5 PMax campaigns, pretty much split up by the collection level of the product, with a new low campaign, like a zombie low approach. Interestingly, as PMax, I would probably say this should have been standard shopping, but again, it's all a test, so it is what it is. Looks like these PMaxes in the last, on the 4th of November, updated to new customer acquisition bidding strategy with fake revenue in the account. So just be, watch that to make sure you know how much money is being added. Right now, it's $30 per new customer identified, which I think at this point is about $1,800. So over time, this will add up. And if Google does a better job at finding new customers, which hopefully it does, I haven't seen too much success with this. Usually the best practice is having duplicated campaigns for this and having many accounts or campaigns targeting at them. But over time, that will add to a good amount of revenue that is fake in the account, because that is gamifying the Google algorithm because it's based on maximized conversion value bidding and PMax to get more of those customers, right? So be aware of that and know, like, hey, this return and ROAS is not as it seems. So just be aware of that when it gets more and more and more. Now, on the search side, you only have brand campaigns. You have 2 dedicated brand and then a kind of a other search campaign that's a very low spender, but there is brand there as well. So no real dedicated search on, cold customers, which I thought was, I get it, it's more of a shopping heavy approach. However, I do think there's always room to test DSA, or at least, winning search terms we've identified in the past, identified on Amazon, right? Kind of see, can we really push that on Google as well? Or even, can we push more standard shopping, really push Google's ability to scale on the shopping side, right? But let's get into kind of the results. Last 9 days, more of a macro approach. You've been above target. Right now you're at 281%. And the 2.7 was break even, as we discussed. However, there's something you need to know, not sure for where. There is fake revenue in the account due to tracking shipping values and tax values. So it's not just product value only. So that's a big thing to look at, and something you need to kind of take into consideration. Now, again, is it going to minus 50% of this revenue? No, but probably good 5 to 10K, depending on how much people paid for shipping and taxes, according to all these orders, right? You can kind of see an average of, what's my average shipping charge, what's my average tax charge in Shopify, and times that by 2,800 orders. Probably maybe 10K, 7K, right? It's not going to be a huge amount, but that will adjust this return, and it's going to be a little bit different of approach there, right? So overall, and that's the spend. Sorry, that should be on this one right here. So I'll walk you through that in the next chapter here. The next portion of this walkthrough. Just want to kind of highlight that here. So last 90 days, about 37% warm spend was on warm kind of brand traffic. 63% was on cold. Now again, this is the kind of campaign level approach. Now again, PMAX will be some brand in there, right? But kind of just looking at dedicated spend wise per campaign. Order is about 2,800. Return is about 281%. Again, that is a not accurate return, and CAC is about $35. Last 30 days is below target at a not accurate return of 265. So that's for sure below target because we know it's not accurate. Again, same kind of spend percentage here, and then CAC rose a little bit, but pretty consistent with kind of the Q4 timing, right? Now, getting into kind of my analysis of this, and then kind of we'll do analysis, kind of going through some stuff that I see. Go to kind of to be fixed stuff, and then kind of the plan as a whole, right? So pretty easy. Just keep this under probably 20 minutes or 10 minutes right now, probably another 10. Overall, brand is a top spending campaign and targeting, right? Which this does make sense since you've said Facebook is the primary channel here. This only spends 40 to 45% what Facebook spends per month. So again, that makes total sense. I understand that. But this does leave Google Ads to be very secondary focused, not really new customer driven, right? And this is something we need to fix eventually if we're really going to allow Google to become the new campaign, new customer campaign type that we want it to be. We just need way more spend, not on branding, kind of forcing Google to find new people that then, sure, we can keep spending the same amount of money on brand, but we need to have more people searching for brand. And the way to do that is through demand creation or demand capture kind of campaigns, right? So last 30 days, the brand search impression share is about 80% between the two main campaigns and around $300-ish per day in spend, right? So again, this could be a lot, this could be a little, kind of depends on kind of the overall search trends. There looks to be about, maybe another $100 potentially per day in spending. Now, again, that's only based off of exact match search queries that Google thinks it could find. So not too accurate on that. But I'd love to kind of see, can we find any historical trends on your brand search over the last year, last couple of months, just to see is the search volume, for your brand increasing, is it decreasing, just staying the same? Do we have to pay that much, right? If we're going to focus on efficiency, do we have to pay that much on brand? Can they go to Amazon and have as equally or better sales opportunity there on Amazon with that brand recognition there, free shipping, yada yada, and just how Amazon does very well sometimes for brands? Or do they have a really good shot at organic kind of stuff like that? Again, we have to we need to take more of a look into the data, right, before we just make wide decisions like this, because there is benefits of having brand in Google Ads. Trains the algorithm to be a lot better. You have more new customer data and existing customer data inside the account to track that. You track the sales cycle. You can update your messaging way faster than organic. Potentially has a better conversion rate than organic, direct, or as Amazon. You can see your competitors. So again, I'm not advocating one or the other. Just kind of think, how can we make a best decision for the account as a whole, right? Then some brand efficiency tests to perform, because right now, I'm not too happy with what the return you've been getting with brand is. Now again, there could be something deeper going on here, again, like Amazon, but right now I would love to kind of dig into your organic and direct traffic differences between brand and search, either plus or negative performance, because I'll keep going. I'll say why. Again, a possible test, new customer only targeting here. Again, this would help limit repeat spend on existing customers, stuff like that, make them go through organic or direct means or email. And then kind of what I hinted at before, just it worries me of how low efficiency use of brand spend is in the account right now, right? Last 30 days, 316% ROAS and 344% ROAS, which is not accurate ROAS, right? They're gonna be a little bit off there. In the main two search campaigns, and only a 4% and 5.5% conversion rate on these, right? So pretty low conversion rate. I would like to see that above 10%, honestly, especially with good brand searchers that you guys are getting and very limited competitors. Only right now, Amazon is a true competitor in your brand. Again, this could be due to just Amazon traffic, kind of, people see you on Amazon, convert on Amazon, and that be more of an understanding with you with the sales cycle. Could be due to just Q4 and kind of people waiting for Black Friday, Cyber Monday. However, I still think, people, if they're still searching for you, again, they could be waiting, but I don't think that'd be too big of a thing right now over the last 30 days. If it's like 5 days, understandable, but the last 30, more of a macro view, I don't believe that's true. But I think majority of it is coming from the bidding strategy, being T-ROAS, right? And this is kind of inflating CPCs outside what it should be. Right now, I think you're probably spending over double what you have to do. And if you spent way less, you get a better return, right? Right now, the last 30 days, $1.73 and $1.93 for your brand CPCs, which is pretty high because knowing that Amazon is your only true competitor in auction insights. So it's probably artificially raising your costs being a smart bidding strategy like this. And I would love to kind of see, hey, if efficiencies are our main goal, can we bring that down to sub $1, even to sub 50, 150, sub $1, sub 50 cents, depending on how aggressive we can be there, while either increasing or maintaining your conversion rate, because it's way more efficient with our brand dollars. Now, yes, we'll probably lose some search market share due to just not having bidding high enough. Some of that might go to PMAX, but also some of that might go to organic, which that's why I wanted to kind of dig into that performance, just to know how is this going to react to your overall business as a whole, right? This is a true efficiency test. And again, not advocating for this without looking at the data, just an idea of kind of digging into the data, right? Now, looking at your attribution report inside Google Ads platform, kind of just to see what Google Ads sees, right? It does indicate a very limited conversion crossover, like nothing basically across campaigns. It's kind of crazy seeing how many different PMAX campaigns you've had in here. Like we go into your account here, right? Tool and settings, measurement, attribution. Let's do last 30 days because you only track 30-day click-through window. Purchase. There we go. Purchase, apply, 30-day window. And again, pretty limited. There's a couple, some 2+ interactions in here. A little bit of days, but not much, right? There's something there. Looking at kind of conversion paths. Of the 19 that we're getting shown, you pretty much just have brand going to brand and brand going to, there's no true PMAX crossover here, which is kind of crazy thinking about that. And then looking at your system conversions, same thing. Just not a lot of true break here, which I was kind of surprised, kind of seeing, 5 main PMAX campaigns. I thought for sure there'd be a lot of crossover here, but Google's going to attribute that DDA however it sees fit. And could retroactively do that as well, even if there is a crossover, we might not even see it because Google wants to attribute that to one PMAX over 2 or 3. But that also could be due to an issue that I think we want to look at your data is because you only track 1 day display, 1 day view through and 3-day engage view conversion windows, which does hurt that kind of creation, kind of any static ad or display ad creative stuff like PMAX does. Even though most of that spend is on shopping, is being pushed out there and not being tracked. Definitely is going to hurt that. Assisted conversions are kind of just seeing how this sales cycle is, right? So overall, just kind of interesting thought there. I wanted to see how does campaigns work together, but it looks like they don't really work together yet, that's why using the ads vortex will like to kind of have primary campaigns and supplementary campaigns that kind of all works together with one, right? Now, looking at a thing that you could use right away this coming week, since it starts tomorrow, is your 2023 Black Friday Cyber Monday seasonality adjustment. So right now in your account, you do have scheduled if you go to tools and settings, bid strategies under shared library, advanced controls, and seasonality adjustment we're in. If we do this was right here, let's click on it, edit, show you this. So it starts tomorrow, basically tonight at 12 a.m. to November 30th. All campaign types, all devices, increase 7%. I think this is a mistake. Again, I don't have all the data. So this is, it could be biased, but I'm trying to show you, what I think and why. So right now it's, you were saying Google, I expect a plus 70% increase in conversion rate starting tomorrow. Now, looking at last year's data, I don't think that's going to happen. Or I think it might be missed, not accurately represented in this data the way I think they either meant to look at it or thought about looking at it. And the reason is, I'm happy to see this, first of all, right? I'm happy to see the team doing this. This is a good thing they're doing to anticipate this, right? However, I think it's too general because there's no segmentation by device or campaign, and it's not a truly accurate view of last year's data just by segmenting the data and kind of seeing this, right? And this could and will cause smart bidding overconfidence because it's going to bid more aggressively and expect to see way more conversions than it actually does. And then that either during sale period or post sale period, it's going to react way worse than it possibly should have by using this kind of really cool tool that you're using, right? So looking at last year's data, and you can go through the account and look at this yourself. I'm going to put this all right here. Otherwise, we'd be going back and forth all the time. 22 data for the same Monday through Monday, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, the week of how it's going to be. Just looking at the exact stuff that happened last year. Account-wide, you had a 6.7% conversion rate, which is plus 56% week over week compared to the previous week before last Black Friday, Cyber Monday, right? So overall, hey, good. That kind of co-aligns with the plus 7%, right? Still a little bit overshooting, but hey, I understand kind of trying to become a better conversion rate than last year. However, looking into that, because it's pretty much the same campaign strategy as last year. I looked at all campaigns, not just enabled stuff. The brand campaigns, where it was at a 16% conversion rate, which is where I would expect your actual conversion rate to be a lot of the time for brand, which is plus 87% week over week. And PMAX is at 4.5%, which is plus 44. So this is where I think, there's a disconnect with kind of seeing brand really carried that, right? Almost doubled, where PMAX did increase a good amount, but not nearly the same as brand. I think this might be kind of an area to think about, okay, am I over attributing or over giving Google confidence on all campaign types when only, search should be this instead of PMAX? Just think about that. Or do it differently, because you can do it differently. And I didn't get into device level stuff, right? There's device level bidding where I think you need to even go further, probably on mobile versus desktop and tablet, right? Probably mobile to convert better than desktop and tablet, but that's something data has to show you, right? That's another thing you need to think about. Then in the last 7 days, kind of just comparing that, account wide, you're at 2.57% conversion rate versus 6.7%. Brand, you're at 5%, and PMAX, you're at 1.85, 1.9%, right? So a lot worse than last year in terms of total conversion rate, which we were spending way more last year, it looked like. Probably more in brand, I'm guessing, as well, just with this numbers. But the main thing to think about here is how much are you truly going to, are you going to do plus 7%? If so, awesome. That's, great. Just make sure you check what campaigns are you doing it, since your targeting is by campaigns type, easy way to do that, and device level, right? Kind of think about sort of giving the algorithm as much data as it needs, not just putting a generalized statement on here and kind of forgetting about it. Now, you will have feature pattern revenue. I kind of talked about this a little bit in the previous kind of early in the video. It's kind of that new customer value driven targeting for plus $30 for every new customer. And you kind of see that into if you go back to the campaigns here, go into PMAX, settings, bidding, customer acquisition, and it's being optimized for new customers with $30 right now, right? So if they bought something for $100, it would be $130 shown in the customer value. So that will be fake revenue that you need to be aware of the longer it goes on. Now, what does Google track? Like, is this a good thing? I think this is a great test to do. Would I've done it for all campaign types right before Black Friday started Monday? Probably not. I think I disagree with that approach, but I do think at least one during this period would be a good idea. Best practices usually is duplicating the campaign out and then doing new customer value. That's from Google's kind of help library as well. That's what I've done in the past. Now, what is Google tracking now? This is the thing, like, oh, can we get new customers and more new customers? But Google, are you even tracking that, right? Or how well are you tracking new customers? Which is in the last 30 days, if you break out campaigns, so go back to all campaigns here, segment, conversions, new versus returning customers, you will see account wide. By conversions, again, this is not conversion by conversion time, so it'll be a little bit off. However, you have 898 conversions, right? 808 were unknown. Only 70, 71-ish, right, were new, and 20 were returning. So, yeah, Google can get you more new customers, hopefully. But, if, 90+% of your track conversions will be unknown, it's not going to move the needle that much as well as you intend it to be. So overall, this will be another, and there's a thing to fix with your first party data that might help with this, and also fix enhanced conversion for leads because it's not set up properly. But, think about the time that you're doing this test, during major promotion, major time of the year. I don't really agree with it too much. Again, I like the test. I just don't think I would have done it now. I would have probably pushed it to the December 1st and do only one or two of the campaigns, not all four. But again, just my thoughts. But for you to know, just, hey, future pattern revenue will be in the count unless you look at it properly. And there's a couple of ways you have to look at the data to kind of see that. Overall, I already talked about upgraded smart shopping campaigns. The PMAX are staying in shopping only, which is good. Again, this would be also a test to see, hey, how can a PMAX do that's fully built, really going after everything, and can Google outperform just shopping? And then also add search themes. This is a new audience signal that just came out last month. Making sure you can give Google all the relevant searches that are, search winners or just winning searches as a whole. It's going to replace custom intent or custom segments, aka custom in market, what has used to be called. In 2024, PMAX will no longer have custom segments; they'll have search themes only, and you can get ahead of this by testing it now. So again, it's something to think about. Now, let's go over some to be fixed. Right, account wide, enable automatic customer match. Right, Google came out with this in September. We can actually say, just literally hit a button and say, Google, start tracking customers through my audience tag, which will then be helped with enhanced conversions. And that way you'll have first party data already in the account and modeling and getting mixed off of that for your smart bidding, right? Be accurate and already in the count. You already have the Klaviyo integration, so that's good. Just one more thing to do, just to get as much data as possible to Google, because Google's data machine, right? Then fixed enhanced conversion tracking. It's not working. If you go to your tools and settings, conversions, way down here, go to conversion actions, Google Shopping purchase, diagnostics up here. It's not working. So again, just kind of take a look. Looks like some of your JavaScript stuff is in here. I'd probably want to go through and look at your tag manager, which is part of my management and done with your stuff, but probably something an easy fix. Just it's not working though. Then fix fake revenue to account. This is a big one, especially since it's been in the account for a while. So what do I mean by this, right? If we go to web pages here, which is I'm looking at, here you go. The last 30 days. If I do, let me minimize this so you can see everything. So last 30 days, let's do, this one right here, or even the $21 one. So it tracked $21.73. If I go to this conversion, or if I go to this actual thank you page, right, this order, it shows $21.73. So hey, that's doing a good job, right? It's tracking. But actually taking a look here, it should only be tracking $15 for this value. It was a $40 order amount minus 25, so that should be 15. But then it added on shipping and taxes. So you're having fake revenue to count. I checked a multitude of orders. I'm seeing it every single time. I didn't see any free shipping thresholds. Again, you could have run some sales in the past. This is 7032 one. Go here. Yep, 7032, where it should have been only $56. So that was that's a pretty good amount up there that's going to affect your ROAS over time. So keep that in mind, especially since you are using T-ROAS bidding strategies, it's going to be optimized towards this fake revenue. So that's a big thing you got to fix. Again, super easy, just editing some code on the conversion action pixel, but that needs to be fixed. Also, on the conversion tracking side, right now, you're only using, go back to conversions here, you're using the native shopping app integration through Shopify, which is awesome. However, I like that you're already using GA4 as a web, kind of seeing what's the main difference, which a very big difference as a whole, which doesn't surprise me since you're using PMAX campaigns and Google doesn't nearly track nearly as well with PMAX. However, I would also like to test some server-side tracking just to see what does Google see versus what if we host, if you're tracking on a different server than Google's, what can we do and what can we see there? Usually I probably see 10 to 20% bump, but again, that'd be something to test and, very cheap to do so. Just an idea overall. Then looking at your kind of main conversion action, aka the purchase one, again, this really depends on the sales cycle and attribution data, which we need to review more. But I would love to kind of see, are our conversion windows applicable to be increased? Right now, you only have 30-day click-through window, which looking at the data, there is some data support that, multiple days, multiple interactions. However, I'm not just trying to rely on the one piece of data. I want to have way more questions about that. But the main thing here, we want to see, if we need to go more into demand creation, we're really trying to scale new customer acquisition like your secondary goal was, kind of seeing, bring more customers through this channel first. Eventually, we're going to have to get away from demand capture and need to kind of start creating demand for us and kind of putting the products in front of people who've never searched for us, never searched for this kind of products or on a competitor product, right? And that's where engage with conversions and view through conversions. This is, think more video. This is more display-based stuff where we want to increase this to see, can Google track somewhat of people who've never clicked an ad, but saw that, engaged with it or something like that, and then came back through another channel or a brand search, and that can actually be attributed properly, right? So, I want to make sure we go through the data there, kind of do that as well, but something we want to think about. And again, this would be more impactful for new customer acquisition strategies, but again, just kind of, and more creative stuff, right? Always with the fake revenue account. All right, main plan move, wrap up in 5 minutes. So need a fix, right? Kind of just everything together, right? So enable automatic customer match, aka more first party data. Fix enhanced conversion tracking, it's not working. Fix your fake revenue account because it's tracking taxes and shipping. Test server side tracking. Then for the creating the vortex strategy, right? This would I would like to see campaigns each phase of the approach. Both demand creation, demand capture, nurturing, actual specific budget here, and making sure it's segmented to the appropriate level. Efficiency brand stuff, because you already have brand in the account. I want to see more efficient stuff. And then profit expansion, there's nothing so far in terms of targeting existing customers, showing the new deals, showing the new collection releases, product drops, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, really match your targeting in your copy, and your offer, and your email and SMS marketing campaigns. Bring that to Google, right? Kind of follow them around everywhere. It's a whole ecosystem, easy way to do that. And then easy test would be profit expansion, nurturing for your deals this coming week. Again, easy. And that can still be creative before you still have time. Then efficiency tests, right? This is the first true goal we want. Start holding brand to a high return. Dig into PMAX bidding since Google's getting the goal, right? You're setting that. I think most of the T ROAS, if we go back into the count here, like 220 to 240. I'm gonna go back to campaign wide stuff. Take the segment off. T ROAS, 280, you're getting that. 270, you're getting that. There's your brand. 220, you're getting 261. 240, you're getting 254. 240, you're getting 216. So only one campaign, which is this other one, or actually there's a couple down here. But your prior campaigns are all getting that, again, with take revenue. But overall, start hitting that. Can we get a more efficient return? Can we spend a little bit less, but still get a higher efficiency? Reading the data feed, I haven't seen any of that since I have GMC access, but making sure, we're feeding all the correct attributes. We're not missing any large things that Google can actually use for our targeting since it's very shopping heavy. And then also start testing standard shopping alongside PMAX or one collection outside PMAX to see the validity of it now. Seeing some pretty good return on other standard shopping campaigns. Usually is more a blended MER approach using standard shopping because the overall tracking is not very good right now, especially when you have PMAX in the count because it overtakes priority of tracking. And that'll be another conversation to have. But again, a good test to run. And then once efficiency is done, we have a new strategy, efficiency is achieved. What can we do to start getting new customers here? How can we make this to a primary overall channel for us? And right now, since PMAX is the primary strategy of the account, we want to see, can we actually create some supplementary campaigns to actually see, can we have dedicated spending campaigns that can outperform Google AI, right? And first for this, start doing more demand capture scenarios to hedge the risk. Lean into search and shopping more, but more on our own terms of it, and start creating some more demand creation campaigns like YouTube demand gen display. And instead of just willy-nilly running out there, the best thing to do starting those creative-based audience targeting campaigns as a nurturing stage, just to see, does our audience respond well to this? Can we track it appropriately? Do we see a lift when we do this incrementally? And then on the top of the funnel side, right, kind of very new customer focused stuff. Start using geo tests to track this. Instead of just doing YouTube ads nationwide, doesn't make sense unless we have a really good amount of budget and we really just want to see this month over month or 9 days in a quarter cycle, right? Use 2-3 smaller cities and start doing it and track the incremental bump in a 30-day view, 45-day view, whatever you think is appropriate for a sales cycle, and seeing what's the total revenue in this 30-day period after 5 to 10K of spend on YouTube in this one spot, or do we get a way more search volume increase on brand? We get more organic visitors. We get way more direct traffic visitors, right? Just trying to see this in 1 or 2 spots across the country. So we have validity of this approach before we just hammer money out, because YouTube, it's gonna be harder to track. It's definitely more blended ROAS return or blended MER, whatever you want to say like that. But it's easier to kind of attribute that and kind of see the direct results when you do a smaller city test, right? So that's how we start that. And then, why use the Vortex model, right? Kind of just me going through other case studies you can kind of run through. And then let's get into, what are the next steps? So doesn't matter for done for you, doesn't matter for consulting with an action plan and kind of a hybrid approach. Overall, have a start email, which would be a contract month to month, no long-term contracts, and then month-to-month payment. Then get you in Slack and have the onboarding. Once that's done, it usually takes like 30 minutes to do. It's not that hard. It kind of just helps understand who we're targeting, what's the brand. Now, and again, right, this could be more what if we are doing all 3 brands, but kind of just talking with as a one brand approach. Then on the second day or third day, however long it takes for onboarding, kind of have a one-on-one call with you. Can I go over onboarding stuff? Do I need any more accesses to other accounts, creative, stuff like that? Then we want to set OKRs, kind of a 12-month long objective. Even though month-to-month contracts, I want to be working with you long-term. Most of my clients are released over a year, and my longest clients now at 3 years. So I want to really focus on long-term objectives. Once we have an objective for, let's say, 12 months, then it kind of gives me, okay, what do we need to hit each quarter to actually hit our objective? That gives me monthly targets. And then I can follow weekly assignments to actually get each thing done to then hit our objective, right? Kind of just work our way back up, reverse engineer it, and then review current upcoming promotions, marketing plans, for example, end of Q4 stuff. Now, then I start going through onboarding accesses, review your brand positioning, USPs, competitors, right? And then begin foundational work, what's foundational work? That is all this stuff. So, look at your creative brief for doing video ads, kind of help understand your offer as a whole in terms of the audience side of it, buying proposition, stuff like that. Make sure I just review your basic unit economics. I want to know where we at for, if we have really strong LTV products like you talked about on our call, really want to understand those. Can we really push those? Overall review attribution as a whole. Review some ad creatives. Do I need to kind of get with one of my someone I know that I can hire on my end to make us get better Google specific creatives, not just reuse Facebook stuff. Again, you might have that in-house already, so that would save some time, but kind of make sure ad creatives are good. And then go to data enhancement stuff. So analytics, tag manager, merchant center, data feed stuff, like your Shopify stuff. Make sure that the enhanced conversions tracking is actually firing. Make sure you update the conversion code, right? Do the ad account foundation stuff, conversion tracking, which we talked about. Then starts the actual Google Ads account stuff, right? So strategy, looking at your current campaigns. Can we optimize any of them? Do we need to kill them? And then look at any past campaigns that we can actually see, hey, this worked really well in the past. Why do we stop it? Can we test this again? Can we just fix one or two things and test it again, stuff like that? And then going to my stuff, and I kind of just talked about that as well. See that here. And then in terms of pricing for me,